Hello there, welcome to my channel. This is the third and final part of my winter resort build mini series. We have come to the conclusion there will be a download link for this build in my video description. I will have one for the Sims 3 Exchange and on Sim File Share. The Sim File Share will be a package file. It took me so long. This is honestly the longest it took me to ever make a build in The Sims 3. Typically, they can take at max like 2 days for me to build. This one took me over a week, mostly because I was away from my computer for a few days while I was starting to build this. But this really took me about like 4 days to actually get this done in total because there was just so much to do. This is on a 50 by 50 lot. I built this in Aurora skies from the Sims 3 store. I love this world, and I think I mentioned in one of the other videos for this mini series that I loved it for the snow backdrop that they have because it's like a snowy mountainous backdrop in Aurora skies, and I felt like it was perfect to go with the winter theme. I will say for the photo montage, it is quite long. It's almost like, I would say like a minute and a half long, the photo montage, because I do photos of both the build when it's like in, let's say, I think it was summertime technically, when there's no snow or foliage or anything like that happening, and then after that I show photos of it when it's wintertime, like in the middle of winter. I actually played in the save for a bit so that way I could get it to go to like the really snowy portion of wintertime, because I wanted to show what this lodge would look like once you get to that season, because that's kind of like the main reason why I built this lodge in the first place. It is I think I called it the Aurora Falls Winter Lodge, because I originally was going to call it something like Purple Wheelbarrow or something like that, but I felt like it was just kind of an awkward name, and I did kind of change the color scheme on the inside a little bit, so I felt like it didn't fit anymore. I will say some of the stuff at the end, like I do change some of the color schemes for 2 of the VIP suites out of the 4 ones that I made, because I didn't like it being all purple. I felt like it was too purple, even though I'm a lover of that color. I thought it was too much. So I wanted to break it up a bit, and I did add in some winter green and red colors into the mix, so that way it was a bit different. I also do that with the upstairs portion. There's sort of like that fireplace cozy like book reading area. I decide to go with like red and green and browns for that color scheme there. I also add in a couple of other things to do. I think I add in like 2 computer desks with computers, so that way if Sims are there and they need to like check their email for work while they're on their winter holiday, even though who wants to do that, or they want to play some games or something like that, they have the option to do that. And then in this, of course, I also show what I do with the greenhouse area. Now, this is a bar/restaurant. I will say for the greenhouse, when I was like playtesting it and actually in live mode, I didn't realize this because I don't often use the greenhouse stuff and I just got it. When it snows, the snow goes into the greenhouse, even though that's technically a roof. So I am so sorry, but like if you play in this in wintertime, there will be snow on the ground and like covering the tables and stuff when you go into the greenhouse if you want your Sims to go there to eat or to go to the bar. So I don't know how that will work, because I didn't get to actually test that portion to see how it functions. I mean, it's cool. It's kind of like an ice lodge if you think about it, like an ice bar or a snow bar or something. But I didn't anticipate that happening for some reason. I forgot it did that, so that's my bad. The color scheme for the bar/restaurant, I try to stick to like the similar colors. I really liked for some reason the countertop that I chose, like this green and like dark like color mix, so I stuck with it. And then I went with this sort of like lighter purple, kind of like maybe a lavender, like a dark lavender or something. I don't really know, but I really liked it, so I kept it going there. And I will say this, I use quite a few store objects in this build. Some of them are free, some of them are not, so it depends if you use Blam's store or not. I don't know, but or if you have them from the store. But yeah, there are quite a few things. I think those string lights, I think they may come with like that garden set. I could be wrong. Of course, I use the greenhouse set. I use the bistro, like the business as usual bistro set, of course, to do like for the restaurant. And then I eventually start doing the exterior. I do cut out some of the landscaping that I do because it was kind of like boring, tedious work. I just had to like place different plants and do some of the like terrain paints and stuff like that. So I kind of did some of it off camera and left little bits here and there just to get an idea of what I was doing. Like I say, I do use some store objects, and one of them is something I've actually never used. It's like this giant, like, piece of a tree trunk or something. I don't really know what it is exactly, but I use that because it's always like a cool sculpture to go with like a winter lodge. And I think I also end up using, I think it's like a bear. It's meant to be like an homage to The Sims 2, I think. I'm pretty sure when I was reading the description, that's what it said. So I wanted to use that because, of course, it's a winter lodge. I felt like that would go good with it. And okay, so I don't know if I stated this, but there is a section like by the, what's that called? The snowboarding ramp thing, like that giant one. I make this tiny little shed that's kind of meant to be like, I put a fake Capital Cash Box register, and I want it to be where your Sims would be able to go and rent the snowboard equipment. So I figured that'd be like a cute little thing to add there. So like if they don't have their own snowboards, of course, they would go there and they can rent one for the day or while they're staying there. You know what I mean? They like hand it back in to the person at the register. Maybe it's like a small fee or something like that. And they can like go snowboarding. I thought that'd be like a cute thing to add, so I did that. I also put like a little, was it like the 2-in-1 like porta potty sort of thing? I put one of those, but I use the one for movie stuff. So if you don't have that stuff pack, it won't show up. I think it's the only object from this movie stuff that I use though. And yeah, I just add in like seating and things like that. I put a little like thing near I put like the food counter or stand that's from the winter portion of the like festival from Seasons. And if you do have NROS, I think in particular, I don't know if a sim will show up if you don't have NROS. I honestly can't remember what what mods I use and what their functionality are at this point, because I just do a lot of stuff in the background. So I can't remember if it's like a base game, like a game thing from The Sims 3, or if it's a mod doing it. But a sim does show up if you have like NROS mods, most definitely, for that stand, even though it's at a resort. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to put that out there because I can't remember what the functionality is and like how it works in the game. So yeah, like I said, I do use some free store content as well, so it is some of the winter stuff. I actually didn't realize I was missing something because I wanted to put some of those wreaths, and I didn't realize that was the only like Christmassy sort of set from the store. I didn't have downloaded because I had to re-download stuff and I forgot I didn't have it. So I re-downloaded it quick and I threw in that garland and the wreaths, and I put them like in different areas dispersed. And I thought it was a cute little touch just to add to the winterness of it all, you know what I mean? And this technically is, of course, open all year round, but I wanted it to be like it's for winter time. And Aurora Skies, of course, is a snowy landscape, so I wanted to go with that theme. I feel like it's good for the holidays and things like that. At some point, I do end up expanding the like banister by the stairs that go upstairs, because I didn't realize, I don't know how I didn't process this, but there was an opening, of course, on the ceiling portion where there's that like entrance for the front desk receptionist to enter to get to the front desk. It had like an open ceiling, and I didn't realize that it was there because I guess the grid was like kind of in the way. I had the grid on, or it was like showing from there. So it was like blocking my view. My brain wasn't processing it. So I had to go back and like reshape that banister area by the stairs, and I had to expand it. Otherwise it looked kind of weird. So it does make the upstairs portion by the stairs larger. So I do add in some more like decorations. I think I added like a Christmas tree and things like that to make it a bit more holiday-esque. I do end up with that kids room that I mentioned, just keeping like a bookcase with some beanbag chairs, and I put in the train set from Supernatural because I felt like it was something cute to add in. I don't always use that object, so I figured I would, use it. And yeah, I end up doing a little bit more of like decorating on the outside. Like I was mentioning, I do put 2 other statues, but I put that bear thing I mentioned. That is a store object. You would need it. It's from like a set. Otherwise it just won't appear. I put it like on a like fake little like pedestal thing. But that is it for this voiceover. Thank you so much for watching. Again, the download links will be in the video description. There will be a photo montage in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up as well, and to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already to see more. Have a good one and take care. Bye.